very festive.
Yeah, man. Gotta start the New Year's off right.
Greg, I was just saying, what's it like going into the last week where it doesn't really matter and also kind of thinking about the playoffs at the same time?
I don't know how it's like because it does matter. And we're trying to go 1-0 this week. It's a division rival. And I love playing against the Bengals. That's probably my favorite team to go against in the NFL. So for us, it does matter. We're still playing for pride out there, although we clinched already. So this week definitely matters for us. Too.
Do you want to play Sunday?
Oh, for sure.
Have you been told if you will?
No, not yet. But the plan is that I'm going to treat this week like I'm playing, and hopefully I'm out there.
How important is it, Greg, then to finish strong this season, even though you might not know who's playing and you guys already clinched, but is it still important to finish the season on a high note?
Yeah, it's super important. Like Coach Schwartz said, no matter who's ever out there, they're setting the standard for us. I think preseason, you've seen that the starters wasn't playing right away, but those guys set the tone in preseason. Like the defense looks exactly how it looked in preseason right now. So whoever's out there, we're going to keep that same tone going into the playoffs.
Are you a believer in momentum?
Oh, for sure. We're hot right now, and we got to continue that. They always say, man, you want to be hot at the right time, and I think we're doing a great job right now in the 3 game. So we're just trying to keep that momentum up.
Regardless of how much starters play, how can this game be good for younger guys if they get an opportunity to kind of get that momentum heading into the playoffs?
Oh, it's huge. Just getting out there, getting some reps, some guys who normally don't play certain positions, guys who doesn't have the ability to go out there and play on defense a lot because they're playing a lot of special teams. So I think it's just great for those younger guys, especially like some corners in our room, getting a chance to be able to get out there, play. We're super excited. They've been practicing their tails off all year, so for them to get a chance to play, we're super excited.
Could you expand why you like playing the Bengals?
Oh, man, just, I'm a competitor. I think they arguably got one of the best receiving cores in the league. So it's just always a super competitive game for us out there.
Joe just said something kind of funny. He said, if I had messed up in high school, I could be some of these guys' dads. Does he give off any kind of a dad vibe to you guys? Or you kind of, look up to him in some of those kind of ways as somebody that's been around? What's sort of the
Yeah, I mean, just how he, how he dresses, got the dad look. But just we definitely, get that vibe from him. I mean, a guy who's been in the league for a long, long time, knows a lot. So he's very smart, and we just try to use him in any way we can just to help our growth as, individuals, as men, and as players.
Greg, he was saying that he felt welcomed right away because of the experience you just talked about, him being in the league for so long. Did that kind of take away that awkwardness, that there was maybe some kind of not a reverence necessarily, but a respect that he had earned just by walking in the door?
Oh, for sure. A guy who's been in the league that long, who's won at the highest level, you automatically respect, someone like that. Although some guys, right away, you do have to earn respect. That's how the league, works. You come in, no matter what name you are, you still always got to earn respect. But, a guy like that who's done it at the highest level, he had our respect from the jump, and he just proved us right. We knew exactly what he can do. We knew he was a veteran. We knew he was proven, and he's showing that right now.
Greg, how well do you think you've played the last game?
How well have I played? I think I've played pretty well. I think other than the Denver game, I think since that game I've been playing at a very elite level.
What do you think changed after that game?
Nothing. Just a mindset, knowing that each snap means something. My team needs me out there, especially when one of our best corners, one of the best corners in the league is out. I knew the team needed me to patrol out there, the outside a little bit more, and play to my ability. So that was pretty much the biggest difference.
There's been an aggressive along those lines. There's been an aggressiveness about you over the last few weeks, kind of point of attack, whatever. Is that just having the freedom to play, or just the confidence to play as well as you're playing that allows you to make those kinds of plays?
Yeah, first is just confidence. I'm definitely playing at a very confident level right now, and it's just laying it all out there on the line for my teammates. That's the biggest thing. Realizing some of those, run fits, things like that, I can be a little bit more aggressive. So it's just laying my body out there for my team no matter what happens. I know they got my back, so I'm just trying to do whatever I can to help the team win.
How much time do you spend on your celebrations?
Like practicing it?
Yeah.
Actually, I really honestly don't practice it too much. I just, whatever I feel at the time is just kind of what I do.
What kind of feedback? Have you gotten a bunch of feedback, like from fans and stuff?
Oh yeah, I mean, some fans hate it. Some fans say I celebrate too much, but you know, it's whatever. You know, that's what Shorts loves. He loves celebrating, you know, our brother's successes, and I feel like that's one of the things about me. I love seeing my guys succeed. So, you know, I'm always gonna be over there celebrating.
Thanks, Greg.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate it.
So what's this feel like getting ready for the playoffs?
Well, I mean, it feels like we have a game this week. It feels like, you know, although we know that we're in the playoffs, we still have to keep our focus lasered in on the Bengals and all of that, you know, their game plan is going to do for us. And but they have a few changes from the last time we saw them, and we have a few changes. So we're just trying to make sure that we're locked in. Even for the players, you know, that maybe, you know, have a little bit less playing time, you know, we're still trying to stay locked in to prepare ourselves properly to get in that rhythm for the playoffs. So.
The adage for contenders is you want to be playing your best football in late December, going into January. Excuse me. Do you feel like right now that you guys are where you feel you need to be, and do you feel like you've been playing your best football?
Well, I wouldn't say, you know, the best football that we can play. I'm sure that the scores will be looking a lot different if we're playing, you know, the best football we can play, at least speaking for the defense. But we are playing at a level that allows us to get a win. And I think that that's what's important at the time, is just to make sure that we come out with the win, make sure that we execute. And that's what we're trying to do here, you know, Sunday with the Bengals.
So are you expecting to rest at least to some degree, whether or not it's all game or part of the game?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the coach is going to do, but I know I'll probably hear some words soon.
Are you a believer in momentum? You know, there's one school of thought is if guys rest going into the playoffs, you know, that kind of takes away momentum that gets built up and things like that. Are you a believer that game-to-game momentum builds and carries over?
I'm not necessarily like a big momentum guy, at least off the field. You know, I would much rather rely on like discipline. I would much rather rely upon the process in which, you know, we've put in place since, you know, the off season. I think that that's what we're really going to rely on, is that culture that we've built and the mindset to always finish out strong. Momentum inside of the game, though, is a real thing. You know, you got the crowd and everything pumping you up. That's a real thing. But as far as like off the field, we're just trying to follow into the process that we've been doing and making sure that we come out with the win. And that starts, you know, Sunday. So.
How does Cincinnati look different to you with Brown and Blake over there?
Well, I'm sure that we're going to be expecting some more, you know, more quick passes than we usually have. You know, they're not trying to get them hit or anything. I know our D-line has been doing a great job putting pressure on quarterbacks, but it looks a lot different. I mean, they're you know, proficient in what they do. 70% completion rate from Brownie. So I think that, you know, the offense is not an offense that we got to say, oh, well, you know, this quarterback isn't a good quarterback. He's an excellent quarterback, and he's done a great job for him so far. You know, they've been keeping the ball well. I think they're +8 in the turnover margin, so that's a great stat to have. So, you know, it's just like any game. You know, we're going into it, you know, trying to follow into the coach's plan and follow through and making sure that all of our processes come to fruition.
Jeremiah, Joe Flacco's impact on the field is pretty obvious. What's he meant to you guys off the field?
Yeah, I mean, he's an anchor. You know, he's able to know guys personally, and what I mean by personally is to understand personalities. You know, he came into the locker room and, you know, guys are calling him cuz and, you know, all type of stuff. You know, I think he quoted I think, Coop one time. But, again, like it's when you're in the locker room, and especially as a quarterback, being an anchor, you have so many different personalities. You have so many different types of people. I think he does a great job of that. And he's been in the league for a long time, so I think he understands that to a high degree.
What have you seen out of Greg, like the last month or so, especially?
New?
Yeah.
Yeah, New. I mean, New's been improving, you know, since he's got here. You know, he's a big energy guy. You know, you'll see it on the field. Like, he's always, you know, the guy, along with, you know, a couple other guys, but he's like the guy that's always kind of doing the celebrations, running over. You know, you'll see him. He may be down the field, but, you know, we get a sack and he'll be the first guy down there to celebrate. So he's a big energy guy. He's been doing very well with, you know, his defense, you know, making sure he get a lot of PDs, and he's just been a playmaker as always. So.
Do you feel like you've had a Pro Bowl season?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say, you know, a Pro Bowl season in the sense of, you know, my own standard, right? I think the player's standard is always higher than, you know, what other people may think, right? But for me, I would have wanted to, have some more TFL. I would have wanted to have some more interceptions, more forced fumbles, right? More tackles. But again, that's the process, though. That's that's the process that we have to go through to be able to become that player that we want for ourselves, right? But yeah.
Did you watch football over the weekend? Did you watch the Ravens game?
I actually didn't watch much of it. I was trying to kind of take my mind away a little bit from football. I'll probably get back in there and watch a little bit more. But for me, I was trying to lay back a little bit, make sure I take care of my body. Traveling a little bit, seeing family.
So you're not at the point of looking at scores and.
Oh no, I definitely was looking at the scores for sure. I wasn't watching physically the game, but I did have my my little ESPN alerts or whatever.
So the fact that the Ravens are the number 1 seed, they're in your division, you beat them. That's the pathway to the Super Bowl. How do you feel about it?
Well, again, we're focused on the Bengals right now. I think as we go on week by week, we'll make sure to emphasize each team that's coming up. The Ravens are a great team. They've done a great job this year in executing. And when we see them, we see them.
Has the game slowed down this year? It just seems like you're playing really fast and the lights are really kind of come on more so than ever. Is that true?
I think y'all love this question right here. I probably got asked that question right there. I probably got asked that question more than anything. I think Taki has done a great job in executing. But no, I think for me, the more time that you get in doing something, the more experience you get in doing something, something gets better, right? Something may get worse, but also something gets better. And I think for me, I've been around Coach Tarver enough, been around the players enough to be able to kind of adjust and adapt to the system into which we play, how we feel each other. But yeah, I think that for me, I think it's the more time, the more comfortability, and the more intensity that you put into the time you get, the better results you get. So.
Sometimes it can be scheme too. You know what I mean? Like Jim Schwartz could have put you in amazing positions of strength, and maybe that has a lot to do with it too. I mean, do you think it's a combo of both of those?
Yeah, I mean, it's a combo of everybody in the organization, from the people that help us out with the laundry to the people that's in the front office. I think all of our success has to do with the organization in totality. It's not just Jim Schwartz, although he's the mastermind, right? It's not just Myles Garrett, although he's the mastermind, right? I think it's a combination of a lot of small pieces that we may not even see.
As the injuries started to pile up this year, when did you kind of feel like, yeah, we're still good enough, we still have what it takes to overcome all of it?
Yeah, I don't think it was a point for me. I was like, oh, we're still good enough. I think for us, it was just like, hey, we've set in place a platform. We set in place a culture, a standard to which anyone who is inside of this this framework has to keep that 111, as we talk about all the time. And I think for us, at least for the players, we're not like, okay, we prefer this guy over this guy or this guy over another. I think for us, it's like, are you keeping the standard? Are you doing the little things that will allow us to continue to propel ourselves forward to, give this city what it's been asking for years, right?
Is it surprising at all that you guys have been able to overcome all the adversity?
Yeah, I don't think anything is surprising when you put the work in. I think for us, we've put the work in, the process is in, and we would have wanted the season to go a bit better, right? Of course, but I think for us, it's week by week, it's second by second, it's hour by hour. How can we be better than what we were, that last hour or that last second, right? So I think that's really the mind frame in which we are right now. And there's A-Walk. I haven't seen A-Walk in a long time.
And was it kind of going off of that? You guys always talked about this next man up mentality. Was there a moment that you noticed that it kind of turned from like a cliche in football to like, no, we really do fully embody this as a team?
I mean, you see that in camp. You got guys going out in camp. We have joint practices, and you see guys that fill in. You may throw a guy in there during the joint practices. That's maybe going with the threes or whatever, but he still is able to kind of embody that culture that we've set in mind, body, and spirit to be able to be out there with the tenacity and do his job. And I think that's the basics. Football is all about the fundamentals, and I think for us, the guys that come in know the fundamentals and are able to implement those things to give us the best result.
I'm sorry. What makes Browns Bengals? It just seems that there's something between these two teams. What makes games between you guys? I guess unique is the word. Intense.
Yeah.
However you want to put it. Just it seems to be a little nice rivalry going on.
Well, I think the obvious is that we're in the same state, right? I think the obvious is we've always had some chatter coming from each side. And again, I mean, it's a prideful state. It's a prideful two teams, and I think that anytime you have those two mixed into one game in one atmosphere, it's always a battle. It's always an atmosphere, no matter who's playing. So, yo, you want to say something? Okay. Okay. Oh, I don't even know what she brought it. She probably brought it. I got it.
JOK, that hit that you had against Brees Hall on that screen pass, you heard an audible pop. How much does that get you fired up as a linebacker to make a hit like that?
I mean, it gets me fired up, but like at the end of the day, I turn around, I'm like, yo, what did the D-line do that allowed me to get to that play faster? What did the safeties tell me on that play? So I think a lot of the things, you see somebody execute a play, and like again, it goes back to what I was saying about the whole organization. There's a lot of stuff that led up to that play, whether it's the video guys putting up cut-ups on all screens, right? Like those are some of the things that really lead up to plays like that. I'm thankful for it. Of course, we celebrate those those big small wins, and I think at the end of the day, I give the glory to all those who made it happen. So.
Hey, Jeremiah, last one. Joe told us he kind of got to a point in his career where stats just don't matter. He just wants to win. You just made a comment about you wish maybe you had a few more tackles or more interceptions or whatever. How much do statistics validate how you feel about the way you play this year?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think for Joe, Super Bowl guy, like I think there is a point where you get in the game and you're not necessarily worried so much. And I don't think me personally, I'm not worried too much about the statistics either. I think for me, it's more of like the production tells me, okay, I may have could have done this better. Or I could have done been in this spot. Could have broken faster on a ball that was tipped, right? So those are kind of like what the statistics do for us. I think that they have a saying in business that statistics are king, analytics are king. So I think at the end of the day, like you want to use the analytics and the statistics to be able to propel you forward, but also it's the intricate parts of, like Joe was talking about, the intricate parts of just making sure that he's winning, making sure that his body stays healthy, those things. So.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Appreciate it.